Starting on the pole position here tonight, the 61 JR. It is Don Brady Jr. Outside of row number 1, driving the 57W, that is Wyatt Steenhoven. Inside row number 2, the 94 car, that's Tyler Bradley. And outside of him, the 83 of Neil Kroll. Inside row number 3, it's the 57 of Todd Steenhoven, and outside him, the 17 of Brandon Boovey. 6 laps the distance, heat race number 1.
All right, head flag man Cody Johnson, he is at the ready. Dropping the green flag right away tonight. Heat race number 1 of the evening. Dave Mulder Memorial Night here tonight at the Rapid Speedway. And Brady off to the early race lead. Don Brady Jr., that 61 machine. Wyatt Steenhoven right behind him. Steenhoven dipping underneath in that purple and orange 57W. It's a drag race down the front stretch. And Don Brady Jr., your race leader on lap number 1. Heat race number 1 of 2 for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. Kicking off the racing action here tonight. Dave Mulder Memorial Night at the Rapid Speedway. Glad to have you along with Steenhoven looking for that lead down on the bottom side. Don Brady Jr. still too solid. Don Brady Jr., your race leader. Wyatt Steenhoven running in that second spot. Neil Kroll, Tyler Bradley, and Todd Steenhoven. Rounding out your top 5. Brandon Boovey in that white 17 at the back of the pack presently. Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. First of 2 heat races for the Sportsman on the track right now at the Rapid Speedway. And Don Brady Jr., your race leader. As Neil Kroll begins to put up a fight for that second position. Neil Kroll in that black, green, and silver 83 machine looking for that second spot from the purple and orange 57W of Wyatt Steenhoven. Steenhoven with a nice run down the backstretch, getting himself a little bit of separation again as he wheels that 57W up top to stay on the back of the 61N of Don Brady Jr. Don Brady Jr., Wyatt Steenhoven running 1 and 2. Neil Kroll, Tyler Bradley, Todd Steenhoven, and Brandon Boovey round out your field. First of 2 heat races for the Sportsman class, and Kroll going around. Bradley getting up on the back bumper of Kroll. Not sure if Kroll may have been going around before that contact.
Left front tire down on the 83 of Neil Kroll, and he goes around. He will have to head pit side here for this heat race.
Don Brady Jr., your race leader, referred to him as Nick a little bit earlier in the race.
Who knows who's driving?
It was bound
sometimes.
to happen, right? Yeah.
We should have consulted with Grandpa down here. Grandpa would have helped us out.
Don Brady Jr., Wyatt Steenhoven, Todd Steenhoven, Brandon Boovey, your 4 survivors. Heat race number 1 of 2 for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. Back under green. Don Brady Jr., your race leader. Wyatt Steenhoven, Todd Steenhoven, Brandon Boovey. The 4 left on the track. Heat race 1 of 2 for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. We will go in the regular racing order for our heat races tonight. We'll flip-flop come feature time. Obviously, the B-Mods will be our feature here tonight on Dave Mulder Memorial Night. Brady and Steenhoven on the white flag lap, running 1 and 2. Todd Steenhoven and Brandon Boovey 3 and 4. First of 2 heat races for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. Coming to the checker this time around. Wyatt Steenhoven looking for a little something on the bottom, and he's there. Who's it going to be at the checkered flag? It is Wyatt Steenhoven in the 57W making the pass. In turn number 4, he made it stick all the way to the flag stand for the heat race win.
Well, by about 0.02 of a second, Wyatt Steenhoven grabs that heat race win. Don Brady Jr. in second. Todd Steenhoven comes home in that 3rd and final transfer spot, and Brandon Boovey rounds out your field. Inside of row 2, it's the 81 CJ. It's Carson Vandentop, and outside him, the 42 of Travis Dan. Inside of row number 3, driving the 45K, that is Caden Clausen. 6 laps the distance, top 3 cars make it into tonight's redraw.
Second and final feature for the Lems Auto, or heat race, pardon me, for the Lems Auto Recycler Sportsman class. We're all over the board. Green flag is in the air. Second of 2 heat races for the Lems Auto Recycler Sportsman class. Brian Crone off to the early race lead. Travis Dan into that second spot in the white 42 machine. Caden Clausen, Leon Sneller, and Carson Van de Top rounding out the field here in the second and final heat race for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. Caden Clausen moving into that second spot in that red 45K machine. Caden Clausen up into the second position. Travis Dan back to third. Leon Sneller in fourth. Got a little tap from behind from Carson Van de Top. Van de Top at the back of the pack looking to get a position on Sneller here in heat race number 2. Carson Van de Top looking to the inside of Leon Sneller for position at the back of the pack. The second and final heat race for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class here tonight at the Rapid Speedway. Dave Mulder Memorial Race Night here tonight at the Rapid Speedway. Brian Crone, your race leader. Carson Van de Top hops a tire on the bottom side of turn number 4. Crone and Clausen running 1 and 2. Dan, Sneller, and Van de Top here in heat race number 2 of 2 for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. 2 to go. Brian Crone, your race leader. Crone with a pretty sizable advantage. Caden Clausen on an island all by his lonesome in that second spot. Travis Dan running in third, starting to gain a little bit of separation from Sneller and Van de Top. Van de Top working on Sneller for fourth at the back of the pack as the white flag comes out. Brian Crone, your race leader. Van de Top going to slide up in front of Sneller for position. And Carson Van de Top moves into the fourth spot. Sneller back to fifth. Second and final heat race for the Lems Auto Recyclers Sportsman class. Checkers fly this time by. Your Sportsman heat race winner, the 14 of Brian Crone.
Brian Crone is your race winner. Caden Clausen coming up to that second position. Travis Dan will make the redraw in third, followed by Carson Van de Top and Leon Sneller. Get into the redraw, and this is a pretty stout heat race. That could be something to come by.
Yeah, I think, Joel, up front on row number 1, Dustin Gulbranson. I believe he's presently in third, only about 20, somewhere in that neighborhood, points back in third position. Real good point race for the hobby stocks here on the season. Heat race number 1 of 3, USRA hobby stocks. We're under green. Dustin Gulbranson off to the early race lead. Nicholas McVeigh in that second spot. Here comes the X-Man putting it to him, moving up to that third position from the back. Tracy Aluska into fourth, and Croc, your top 5 on the field presently. Heat race number 1 of 3 for the USRA Hobby Stocks presented by Cibus Graphics of Sanborn. Cibus Graphics of Sanborn bringing you the hobby stock racing action all summer long right here at the Rapid Speedway. Dustin Gulbranson, your race leader. Nicholas McVeigh in that second spot. Schlumbaum looking to the inside of McVeigh for second position as Schlumbaum wheels the X down low. And Tyler Schlumbaum is there for that second spot. McVeigh will battle back on the top side in turn number 2. Off the exit of 2 and down the back stretch, it is Schlumbaum by half a car length. Tyler Schlumbaum and Nick McVeigh side by side for second. Tracy Aluska waiting in the wings. Dustin Gulbranson checking out. Gulbranson, your race leader in the 6th. Schlumbaum has cleared McVeigh, and now Aluska will set his sights on Nick McVeigh. Tracy Aluska and Nick McVeigh side by side for third, with Eric Gall rounding out the top 5. Heat race number 1 of 3 for the USRA hobby stocks. Dustin Gulbranson with 2 to go, your race leader. Gulbranson with the race lead. Tyler Schlumbaum, Tracy Aluska, Nick McVeigh, Eric Gall, your top 5. Croc, Wessels, and Koiker round out the field. White flag will show this time by Dustin Gulbranson, your race leader. Dustin Gulbranson with the race lead. Tyler Schlumbaum, Tracy Aluska, your top 3. Nick McVeigh in that 4th spot, trying to hold off Eric Gall. Nick McVeigh's been having challengers this entire heat race. Checkers come out this time around. Dustin Gulbranson, your heat race winner.
Dustin Gulbranson grabbing the heat race win. Coming home in second. No harm, no foul, no problem. Tyler Schlumbum comes back to second. Tracy Haluska coming home in that third spot. Eric Gall grabbing fourth in the redraw spot. And Nick McVeigh grabs the top 5 and a spot in tonight's A feature. Row number 2 to the inside, it's the 19 car of Brandon Jurens, and outside of him, the 38 of Devin Van Veldhuizen. To the inside of row number 3, the 50M, it's Marnie DeBoer, and outside of her, the 14K of Bryant Clausen. Inside of your fourth and final row, driving the 2-star, it's Dustin Schultz, and outside of him, the 78S of Spencer Sproke. 6 laps to distance, heat race 2 of 3 in your Sportsman Graphics Hobby Stocks.
And flagman Cody Johnson at the ready. We're about to go green flag racing. Green is in the air for the second of 3 heat races for the USRA Hobby Stocks presented by Sportsman Graphics. Josh Bradley off to the early race lead. His front row counterpart Dylan Van Top in that second spot. Brian Clausen is the top 3. Starting to separate themselves ever so slightly. Van Veldhuizen and Jurens round out the top 5. Here on lap number 1 as Jurens slows to the top side at turn number 4. The 19 just dying there in turn number 4. Josh Bradley, your race leader. Brandon Jurens going in with right front issues. And that number 19 having to retire from the heat race. The race is on in turns 3 and 4. Josh Bradley down low. Dylan Vanetop up top for the race lead. Brian Clausen wants to play as well. And Vanetop, your race leader. Dylan Vanetop with the race lead. Josh Bradley and Brian Clausen, your top 3. Clausen going to run around the high side, get by Bradley, send Bradley back to third spot. Vanetop and Clausen 1 and 2. Bradley in third. Van Veldhuizen and Schultz round out the top 5. Heat race number 2 of 3 for the USRA Hobby Stocks presented by Sportsman Graphics. Top 5 will make it into the A feature. Top 4 will hit the redraw. And presently in that 5th and final transfer spot is Dustin Schultz in the 2-star out of Marshall, Minnesota. Brian Clausen looking for the race lead on the bottom side, coming off of 4 and down the front stretch, and Clausen is there. Brian Clausen in the 14K taking over the race lead. Dylan Vanetop going to battle back on the top side with the high side run coming off of 2 and down the back stretch. Into 3, it'll be Vanetop by a nose. Clausen will rally back on the bottom of turns 3 and 4 to hold on to that lead in the 14K as they come to the white flag. Brian Clausen, Dylan Vanetop 1 and 2. Josh Bradley, Devin Van Veldhuizen, and Dustin Schultz, your top 5. Van Veldhuizen looking high to get around Josh Bradley here on this final lap. Brian Clausen, your race leader. We're coming to the checkers this time around. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the 14K of Brian Clausen.
Brian Clausen, your heat race winner. Dylan Vanetop coming home in second ahead of Josh Bradley in third. Dustin Schultz grabs the final redraw spot in fourth, and Devin Van Veldhuizen hangs on for the top 5 and a spot in the A feature. To the inside of row number 3, driving the 221, it's Logan Fitzpatrick, and to his outside, your current point leader, the 8 car of Levi Vanderweide. Inside of your fourth and final row, driving the 10 car, that is Blake Sneekloff. 6 laps to distance, third and final heat race in your Sportsman Graphics Hobby Stocks.
Back of the pack in that black and red 10 machine, that Schneekloth stepping up from the Sportsman class as we go green flag racing. Third and final heat race for the USRA Hobby Stocks here tonight. Landon Crone off to the early race lead. Brady Clausen will move into that second spot. They're going 3 wide for third. And around the top side, Levi Vanderweide, your current point leader in the number 8. Bottom side, here comes Doug Brinkhouse in the white 43. Brinkhouse to that third position. Vanderweide and Fitzpatrick, your top 5. As Brady Clausen looking for a piece of the race lead up front. Landon Crone battling back on the top side. For those of you watching on AdvantageRacing.tv, you got a great shot of those 2 cars coming off of 4 down the front stretch. It is Clausen by a nose. Brady Clausen and Landon Crone, great battle for the race lead as your point leader. Levi Vanderweide to the back of the pack. Problems with the number 8. Levi Vanderweide with a tough heat race. He'll head to the back of the pack as he slows. Problems with the number 8 machine. He is your current point leader. Brady Clausen, your current race leader. Clausen, Crone, and Brinkhouse running 1, 2, and 3. And now Clausen slows and goes off the track in turn number 2. Landon Crone will inherit the race lead. Crone and Brinkhouse running 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick. And it looks like we've got 4 survivors now. The 28 of Terry Larson and Blake Schneekloff slow off the pace at the back of the pack. A war of attrition here in the third and final heat race for the USRA Hobby Stocks, presented by Sebas McGraphics as Schneekloff pulls up. White flag is in the air. Landon Crone, Doug Brinkhouse, Logan Fitzpatrick, Terry Larson. Blake Schneekloff off the race surface into the work area, just getting out of harm's way as the checkered flag will come by this time around. Who's it going to be? Heat race number 3 for the Hobby Stocks to Landon Crone.
Landon Crone grabbing the final heat race, and Doug Brinkhouse coming home in second. Logan Fitzpatrick in third, and Terry Larson grabs the fourth and final redraw spot.
USRA Stock Cars presented by Precision Auto Body. Heat race number 1 coming to the green flag. Green is in the air. We're stock car racing tonight in the Rapid Speedway. Dave Mulder Memorial Night here tonight. Scott Overgard, your pole sitter, off to the early race lead. His front row counterpart, Rich Gregoire, in that second spot. Austin Brands running in that third position. Tommy Crock, your top 4 presently for the USRA Stock Cars, presented by Precision Auto Body. Tommy Crock, Mark Henry looking for that 4th spot to the outside of Austin Brands. Austin Brands and the blue 4 Dave machine coming off a 2 and down the backstretch. He'll settle into that 5th position. And Tanner Vandertop at the back of the pack. Everybody gets through in the stock cars here tonight. Heat race number 1 of 3 for the USRA Stock Cars, presented by Precision Auto Body. Scott Overgard, your race leader in the number 40 machine, and checking out from the rest of the pack. Overgard with the race lead in that red and yellow number 40 machine. Rich Gregoire in second spot. Tommy Crock, Mark Henry in number 4. Austin Brands and Tanner Vandertop rounding out your field. USRA Stock Cars presented by Precision Auto Body. Heat race number 1 of 3 on the track right now tonight here at the Dave Mulder Memorial Night at the Rapid Speedway. Overgard, Gregoire, Crock, Henry, Brands, and Vandertop. As we fly around the Rapid Speedway, the first of 3 heat races for the USRA Stock Cars. Scott Overgard has them covered in the number 40 machine. Overgard and Gregoire running 1 and 2. Crock, Henry, Brands, and Vandertop. USRA Stock Cars here tonight at the Rapid Speedway. Final set of heat races. We'll turn our focus toward B features following this. 2 to go this time by Scott Overgard, your race leader in that black and yellow number 40 machine. Mark Henry off the track in that 4th position. He's got the 43 back on. Now Austin Brands going to follow suit. Tanner Vandertop will take that spot away from Brands. As Overgard leads them through the white flag off into turns 1 and 2. Overgard, Gregoire, Crock, Henry, your top 4. Vandertop and Brands rounding out the field. Checkers coming out this time around, your heat race winner, the 40 of Scott Overgard. Scott Overgard taking home the heat race win. Rich Gregoire, Tommy Crock, Mark Henry, Tanner Vandertop, and Austin Brands rounding out your field. Heat race number 1 of 3 for the Precision Auto Body USRA Stock Cars. Dave Mulder Memorial Night here tonight at the Rapid Speedway. Heat race number 2 up front on row number 1, starting on the pole from Kenneth. It's the 5X of Kevin Kremen. Outside of row number 1 in the 36, it's Glenn Wienia. Josh Kelderman in the 43K. Colton Ahrens in the 46 on row 2. The 11K of Darren Cordles, the 16J of John DeBoer round out the field as we go green flag racing. He raced number 2 of 3 for the Precision Auto Body USRA stock cars. Second of 3 heat races on the track. Precision Auto Body of Rock Rapids brings you the USRA stock cars. Glenn Wienia to the early race lead. Colton Ahrens looking for something on the bottom in that 46. He'll take that second spot away from Kevin Kremen. Kremen back to third. Darren Cole now working on Kevin Kremen for third spot in the running order. Glenn Wienia, your race leader. Wienia and Ahrens 1 and 2. Kremen, Cordles, DeBoer, and Kelderman rounding out the field. Second of 3 heat races for the USRA stock cars presented by Precision Auto Body. Ahrens has a sniff of the race lead. He's going to take it over. Colton Ahrens with the race lead. Ahrens to the front. Wienia, Kremen, Cordles, DeBoer, and Kelderman as Wienia sails high up the track on the backstretch. Able to get that 36 back down and hold on to that second position on the track as Cordles dips down low in turn number 4. Colton Ahrens with the race lead. Glenn Wienia in second spot. Kevin Kremen in the hunt. And Darren Cordles going to work to the other underside of Kremen for that third position. Cordles in the 11K looking for that third spot. Kremen will battle back on the top side. They're right behind the 36 of Glenn Wienia. Cordles takes third from Kremen. He'll set his sights on second from Wienia. Colton Ahrens checking out in the meantime in the number 46 with heat race number 2 of 3. Precision Auto Body USRA stock cars here tonight at the Rapid Speedway Dave Mulder Memorial Night. Final set of heat races here tonight. Then we'll go B feature racing on Dave Mulder Memorial Night. Kevin Kremen slows and comes to a stop off the top of turn number 2. Actually still moving down the backstretch off the race surface with 2 to go. Colton Ahrens the leader. Kremen will be able to get it refired and pull back on the track. Colton Ahrens with the race lead. Darren Cordles in that second position. Glenn Wienia, your top 3. DeBoer and Kelderman round out the field as Kremen pulls in. White flag is out for Colton Ahrens. Ahrens, Cordles, Wienia, DeBoer, and Kelderman. Heat race number 2 of 3 for the USRA stock cars presented by Precision Auto Body. Checkers coming out this time around, the 46 of Colton Ahrens.
Colton Ahrens taking home your heat race win. Darren Cordles coming home in second. Glenn Wienia grabs that redraw position in third. John DeBoer in fourth, and Josh Kelderman rounds out your top 5. Inside of row number 2, he drives the 20K. That is Spencer Callis. And his outside, the 0TG of Brad Tergrotenheist. Inside of your third and final row, driving the 04, it's Roger Verdorn. And outside of him, the 46-7 of Jacob Foster.
Third and final heat race of the night for the Precision Auto Body USRA stock cars. Green flag is in the air. As Joel mentioned, the current point leader, the 45 of Dustin Gulbranson, your current race leader. Spencer Callis works on the 4 of Aaron Stetniks for that second spot. Callis looking underneath Stetniks for second position in the running order. Stetniks will battle back on the top side. Stetniks, Callis, and Verdorn, your top 4 in the field. Everybody gets through to the 8 tonight for the USRA stock cars presented by Precision Auto Body. On the infield, Hobby Stock B feature just about set to stage here on the infield. Get it set for B features coming your way next tonight at the Rapid Speedway Dave Mulder Memorial Race here tonight. Dustin Gulbranson, Aaron Stetniks, Spencer Callis, your top 3. Roger Verdorn, Brad Grotenheis, and Jacob Foster rounding out your field. Third and final heat race for the Precision Auto Body USRA stock car. Gulbranson with the lead. Stetniks in second. Callis running third. Verdorn fourth. DeGrotenhuis fifth, and Jacob Foster rounding out the field for this third and final heat race for the USRA stock cars. Brad DeGrotenhuis down low in turn number 4. Jacob Foster will close the gap at his 46.7. Roger Verdorn has been working on that 20K of Spencer Callis. Callis has been holding that third position pretty much for the entirety of this stock car heat race. Dustin Galbranson, your current point leader and current race leader in that Luke 45. Galbranson, Stepnix, Callis, and Verdorn, followed by DeGrotenhuis and Foster. Third and final heat race for the USRA stock cars, presented by Precision Auto Body. 2 to go, this time by Dustin Galbranson, your race leader. Roger Verdorn looking to get underneath that 20K of Spencer Callis. Just doesn't have anything down there right now. Callis will hold on to the third spot. Aaron Stednick's running in that second position. Dustin Galbranson leads them to the white flag. One more lap around the Rapid Speedway. Verdorn starting to gain on Callis for third position. Callis with a nice run through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Verdorn keeping that 04 pinned on the bottom, looking for a last lap pass for third position in the running order. Third and final heat race for the USRA stock cars to the 45 of Dustin Galbranson.
Dustin Galbranson grabbing the final heat race win. Aaron Stetniks coming home in second. Third place going to Spencer Callis, making it into the redraw, followed by Roger Verdorn and Brad DeGrotenhuis in your top 5.